This is khoodeelaarTVchannel broadcasting under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo manifesto editions. This one is timed at 07:30 hours GMT and is actually starting broadcasting as 08:14 British Standard Time or 7:14 GMT on Thursday, 13th of June 2024. The contents of the British newspapers are completely typical. They are in denial of the reality of the lives of most people in the United Kingdom, the experiences of most people in the United Kingdom. This being few weeks before the 4th of July 2024 British general election, the newspapers are full of what they say are contents about the election, but they're not. They're lies, deceptions, denials, and suppression. And there is this typically corrupt, ignorant, contradictory posturing by the Daily Mail, which has got the most ridiculously corrupt but vain commentators. Stupid Glover, is attacking those who oppose Brexit and saying that it was the Remainers who have the responsibility, who have the moral disgrace of getting it wrong, because the fascists on the European continent outside of the United Kingdom, or excluding the United Kingdom, are on the march. But it is the Daily Mail which appeased Nazi Hitler in the 1930s. And in this current week, it is the Daily Mail which is backing the fascist reform leadership, which is personified by nasty, fascist, racist Nigel Farage. So if anyone were to examine the contents of the propaganda rubbish in the Daily Mail, for example, they wouldn't know what the Daily Mail was actually urging the voters to vote for. Keir Starmer, the political murderer of the Labour Party, is already now totally brazenly boasting that what he represents is the end of the founding aims and purpose of the Labour Party, and that he is going to continue the narrative, the agenda, the political course of the right in the United Kingdom, which is to deny basic services and accountability by the little states, locally, the councils, regional organizations, to ordinary people who are in the closest of contacts in terms of services with the local states. And overall, there is nothing in the papers absolutely that even acknowledges the existence of a duty to account, a duty of accountability owed to ordinary people by the little state. And there is no alternative, because the leaflet or the poster that I saw this morning in one part of East London, left there by the parliamentary candidate for a Newham constituency called Sophia Naqvi. It is as empty as the Labour Party's stance. There is no concept of accountability being recognized by the so-called independent, Newham independent. And the same thing applies to all the other smaller outfits. The newspapers that so far I have purchased are the Daily Mail, costing £1, the Sun, the Daily Mail costing £1.10, the Sun £1, the Times £2.80, and the I newspaper 90p. So these newspapers should have been available for people in the local library, controlled by the local council. But all the local libraries across London, including Westminster libraries, have stopped stocking daily newspapers. Buying the daily newspapers, about £10 a day, or about £11 or £12 if you include the Financial Times, well, £13, £14 if you include the Financial Times, the Daily Telegraph, the Guardian. Then it would be like about £15 altogether if you buy all the daily papers, which is absolutely impossible for most people to afford. £15 is impossible. But that would be a saving, and people would get access to what is being said, although the propaganda is the dominant content of the newspapers. But still, there is an insight, general insight as to the real propaganda behind the propaganda, real purpose behind the propaganda. And the essence is that the newspapers are as unaccountable to the people as are the politicians of the political parties or political platforms. There is no evidence that, despite the fact that the BBC is paid for by license fees, it actually recognizes the rights of or the needs of the license fee payers to know what the basic audit transparency movement is, because it doesn't exist. And the BBC, like the Murdoch established Sky News and the Channel 4 broadcasters, not recognizing the needs of the people, and despite the slogan that is spouted about the cost of living crisis, there is no recognition of the impact of the cost of life. Cost of living, the quality of life is diminished by the absence of access to information, although the information itself is rationed in a way. The truth is rationed out of the contents of the media, and most certainly the existence of the world outside of Little England is not recognized, except when the likes of Stephen Stupid Glover want to revive the slogan of hatred against the European Union and revive that by wrongly and misleadingly claiming that Brexit has saved the United Kingdom from the scourge of fascism that is now dominating the political movements in the rest of the United. The election called by France's President Macron, is being backed by Macron's side, claiming that a vote for the French fascist Le Pen is an existential threat to the French people, the French country. To what extent Macron can defeat Le Pen at the election that he has called remains to be seen. In the promotion of Nigel Nasty Farage in the British media, even the so-called Joe Cox Foundation has taken a sympathetic view of Nigel Nasty Farage over the fact that he was attacked with flour or some kind of liquid or by a protester or a second protester. And the comment is that it's a bad thing for democracy. Absolute rubbish. Given that Nasty Nigel Farage is the fascist who is now supporting the Reform Party candidate who has asserted that Britain should have supported Hitler's offer, so-called offer, and stopped attacking the Nazis. So it's not a hidden thing anymore. The very Nigel Nasty Farage who has attacked Rishi Sunak by saying that Rishi Sunak doesn't understand, as Farage says, our values, meaning that skipping the D-Day celebration, memorial celebration, shows that Rishi Sunak has no respect for the sacrifices of those people who stood up to the Nazis and fought against the Nazis. It's the same Nasty Nigel Farage who is standing up for backing the reform candidate who is saying that Hitler's offer should have been accepted by Britain in the 1930s, 40s. So there is open, brazen fascism being promoted by the British media. There is no sign in anything that the political murderer of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, has to say about the imminent political threat of fascists in the rest of Europe, and what to say about the contradictory position expressed by Nasty Nigel Farage, backing the Reform Party candidate who says that Britain was wrong to reject Hitler's offer, so called. We shall be continuing all of these in the next editions. This is just under 16 minutes long video ending at 7:30 GMT on Thursday the 13th of June 2024.